Who are you? Who are you? Who are we? 90% of people let the thoughts of strangers dictate who they are. They let strangers dictate who they become in life. Who are you? Are you special? Are you special because your mom and dad told you you're special? Or are you special because you're a savage? Are you special because when they tell you you can't, you do? When you think you don't deserve it, it comes your way. When they tell you that you can't do it, you get it done. Is that why you're special? This life's hard. And it's filled with people who think they know. It's filled with people who think they know the answer to everything. It's filled with people who think they know best. And when we're talking about who thinks you're special or not, who are we talking about? Is it your mom or dad? Is it your friends? Is it your family? Or is it those voices inside of your head? Is it that cricket on your shoulder that's telling you can't do it? Is it that disease that we call self-doubt? Is that what we let into our lives? You see, if we let that into our lives and we start letting it dictate what we're going to do and who we're going to become, then we're not going to become anything except something that's unoriginal, something that's not us, something that we're going to look in the mirror and say, who is that? So I'll ask again, who are you? Who are you? 90% of people let the thoughts of strangers dictate who they are, but over 90% of people are only thinking about themselves or things pertaining to. That means over 90% of people in this world are letting strangers dictate who they are, but they're not thinking about them at all. Insecurity is making decisions in their life. It's opening up to the door. It's getting on the phone and it's calling self-doubt and it's saying, come over. We're throwing a party. It started last year and it's still kicking off. Because we let it. It's like being at that party you threw at your house and you're walking through and you don't even know half the people who are there. Because we weren't man enough to say, if I don't know you, you're not coming in my house. We're not man enough to look at self-doubt and say, you don't have a place in my life. Because if you want to be a part of my life, then you got to live my life the way I live it. I live my life over here, bold, spontaneous, and spirit-filled. I live my life knowing I may wake up today and fail, but that's not the point. It's not the success of somebody that they get envious of. It's the fact that they did it. It's the fact that they tried. If you don't show up, nothing happens. Nothing will ever happen if you don't show up. That's what self-doubt wants you to do. Self-doubt wants you to do nothing all the time. Because the second you start to do something, it's like the picture in Back to the Future, where he starts fading away. The second you start to do something, that picture with self-doubt standing next to you on one side and insecurities on the other, it starts to fade away. Because there's no reason for it. If you start making decisions for yourself, then what purpose does self-doubt have anymore in your life? Our own worst enemy is ourself, but the greatest investment we can make is in ourselves. Would you make an investment into something that you know nothing about? So I ask you again, who are you? Who are you? I know who I am. I'm the guy that wakes up every day and I hold myself accountable because only I know what I'm fully capable of doing. Only I know when I wake up that day and then I go back to sleep that night if I really did everything I was capable of doing. Only I know. So I hold myself accountable. I make it happen for myself. You might have different reasons in life. It might be for your mother. Maybe she's sick. It might be for your family. It might be for your wife or your daughter. It's what it is for me. Maybe you just got to the point where you got sick of letting people down. That's what happened to me. Maybe you got sick of letting yourself down. That's what happened to me. You see, I spent most of my life not even taking advice. I spent most of my life letting somebody else make decisions that affected somebody else in my life. And they used me as a host. They used me as a punching bag. Because I didn't know who I was. How can you stand up for something if you don't know what it is? I couldn't even stand up for myself because I didn't know who I was. But you know what? It wasn't hard to figure out. Because I woke up one morning and I said, I have the power to get results. I can make things happen. And I decided one day to stop living in my weakness, living in my fear, living in my self-doubt, living in this song of feeling bad for me. And I decided instead of complaining about my circumstances, I'm going to make my own. Because I found out who I was. I was the guy that makes his own environment. I'm the guy that makes his own decisions. I'm the guy that wakes up every morning and looks in the mirror and says, damn, I know who you are. And I know what you're capable of doing today. And tonight, when we go to bed, I'm holding you accountable, bro. I'm going to ask you some questions. And you know what? You better have the answers. And I can walk away knowing I'll have those answers. And that's what it's all about, guys. It's about looking in the mirror and knowing who you are. And it isn't hard. But nothing happens if you don't show up. You gotta wake up every morning. You gotta show up, whether it's to a job, whether it's to a computer, whether it's to a mirror where you're looking yourself in the face and you're holding yourself accountable to the goals and visions that you've had for years that you've been squandering. But it's that easy. And you hold yourself accountable. And you say, I'm going to do something today. And I'm going to at least do it and try as hard as I can. And when I go to bed tonight, I'm going to ask myself, did I do everything I could? It doesn't matter if I was successful. It doesn't matter if I failed. What matters is, did I do everything that I could do today? Because I'm the only one that really knows. And if you're going to be honest with yourself, then you're going to find out who you really are. You're going to find out how you meet trials and tribulations. You're going to find out who you are. You know, it's that last 2 seconds or last hour. It's when you hit that wall and you usually give up. It's right there where you keep going that you start to really learn and grow. It's when you hit that wall and you say, oh my God, I've been here before and I never knew what to do before. I don't know what to do now. I could turn around and give up, or I could just give it my all and see what happens. That's where you grow. And that's how you learn who you are. And once you learn who you are through waking up and doing something, then you can start to be proud of who you see in the mirror. And now you've become confident. And now confidence builds momentum. And then momentum builds waves. And then waves create a vision. And it all leads right back to one thing. You. It all leads back to you. And that's where you ask that one last question at the end of it all. Am I happy? And if the answer is yes, then I'm pretty sure that you recognize that guy in the mirror.